Trust me, if I explain it now, it'll only confuse you.
Okay. Hi, everybody. It's Lulu. That's not how I opened this. Hi, everybody. I forget how my opening is. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to my channel. I am Crybaby Pumpkin or Lulu, and welcome back to our blind LP of Nirvana, or of AI Somnium Files Nirvana Initiative. I can remember it if I try a few times. We got this. Last time we went back and to the split in Lien's Somnium. We did that split and got all the way to the end of that route, which was the Kizuna and Lien route. We found out the real identity of the masked woman. I was right, it was Big Sis, and she also looks really similar to Mizuki, and I'm wondering if Mizuki might be a clone. We'll find out later. Also wondering if she might be Boss's daughter. Again, we'll find out later. But for now, we're gonna find out. We're going back to the past. Well, what I think might be the past. I honestly, well, Date is alive now. It could be the present, but Uru is it? Oh, we also learned Terra's true identity. That's the other thing we learned. Not a big deal. Just, you know, exactly confirming who Terra was and everything that was happening. All right. We're going. This is the timeline where we learned about the body on the rooftop, and we had Chikara's body and stuff.
Oh, you came! Good. Want something to drink? With water? On the rocks? You don't have to be shy. It's on me. It's such a bizarre case, the HB serial killings. That being said, the facts are fairly straightforward. Pointing out a culprit can't be too hard. Do you already know? Terror. Who are they, really?
Okay, we're gonna do this first. What ability do you want? Okay, I'm going for crazy or brave. So, do I have this one? No. Ability. Let's go with Future Sight. Future Sight is brave. Alright. Cool, that's something good. Alright. We can't click on anything besides answering the question, so... Who is Terra? It's Uru Somizuki.
Right. Uru.
How do you know that?
We know he killed at least 3 people. Jin Furue,
Okay.
Chikara Horadori, Andes Komeiji.
Yes.
But why did he kill them? What was his goal?
Andes Komeiji was killed for stealing half of the body to get revenge on Jin Furue and on Chikara. Yeah, so revenge makes most sense.
That's true, I suppose. But that wasn't the main reason.
Oh. Was it the Nirvana Initiative then?
That's right. The Nirvana Initiative. The loony plan to have humans reach moksha. That's why Uru killed the 3 of them. We can put aside the little details for now. The most concerning aspect of the whole thing is the time difference. The left and right sides of the victims were found 6 years apart. Regarding the first victim, the facts are already in. 6 years ago, on February 10th, Jin Furue's body fell from the ceiling of Devaita.
Half of it.
And this year, 5 days ago, also on the 10th, Uru Somizuki's left half was found at the stadium, not Jin's. Plastic surgery and complete organ transplants. It fooled the investigators into thinking they were the same person. But what about the other victims? Chikara, Komeiji, Tokiko. How do you explain those 3? You have good intuition. You might already know.
it looked like Chikara's body was frozen at one point. The timeline was not in the correct order. Tokiko made miracles happen. Ryuki and Mitsuki were hallucinating. I think it's hallucinating. I think it's TC Purge. But it also could be the timeline was not in the correct order. Those are the two options I'm thinking.
No, not hallucinations. The right and left half of their bodies were found. No doubt about that.
Okay. Then it's
Right.
timeline issues.
In other words, it's not like that.
No, it's not.
It's like this.
Oh. Oh. They pulled over. I knew there's something that they pulled over. Timeline shenanigans on me. This part happened in the future and this is the past, but then finding Tokiko's dead body, or syncing with Tokiko was in the future. Finding her dead body was in the future. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna have to think about that a while just to rearrange it in my mind, but that makes sense.
This is the timeline that you actually experienced. The red and blue lines are intertwined, almost like DNA. You started on the red line from the top, and then followed the blue line, which led you to this point. You've traversed 4 X's. The left side is 6 years ago, and the right side is this year.
So Andy's body was found 6 years ago, both halves of it. Tokiko's body was found in present time. Okay. Same with Chikara. Right? No. Chikara was found in the past as well. Huh.
To make things easier, we'll call the left side past, and the right side present.
Okay.
In other words, you came here, jumping back and forth between past and present, a day at a time, all to end up here. Now do you understand?
Yeah.
Chikara's right half was found the night of the 11th, in the past. His left half was found the next morning. Komeji's right half was found on the 13th. His left half was found the next morning at 6 a.m. 6 years have passed, and now we're here. In the present, Tokiko's right half was found on February 12th. The next day, a little past midnight, her left half was found in the basement of Horodori Institute. Long story short, the left and right halves weren't found 6 years apart. They were all found soon after each other. Nothing supernatural here.
Well, that... Brilliant. This is a chart that shows the flow of the story in chronological order. The true flow chart can be checked from menu flowchart. But how does this work with the branching paths? Or are the branching paths correspond to staying in that timeline as that person? So the branching path for Ryuki is right here. So the Shoma getting on the thing happened 6 years ago, which is why we didn't see it, because that was 6 years later. And so probably the... Okay. So when... We still, I think, have multiple timelines. I still think that has to be happening because otherwise the timeline wouldn't add up for Andy's being found dead here and then the saving Shoma and stuff. Although, maybe it does line up. I don't know. Something's not mathing in my brain with the alternate timelines. Interesting.
Anyway, that's just my genius analysis. Oh, but I know what you're gonna say. There's still tons of things that can't be explained, right?
A little bit.
Especially, who killed Uru and Tokiko? Jin, Chikara, Komeiji.
They were killed 6 years ago.
It was Terror, Uru, who sliced these three in half. But then Uru was killed in the present, February 10th. Tokiko's body was found after that. So who killed Uru and Tokiko? Well, I'm sure this mess will be cleared up soon. By Mizuki, her friend, and by you, Freyr. So anyway, good luck with the rest of your investigation.
Am I Freyr?
I'll be cheering you on.
Interesting. Oh, you okay there, Mama? You look a bit...
Huh? Who was I just talking to? Maybe I've had a bit too much to drink. It's awfully cold tonight.
Interesting. Iowan Garden, February 15th at 3:10 p.m. So is this back to the past?
Hey, about Kizzy. Are you sure she's okay?
This is still the present.
Don't worry. I made sure she's fine.
Kizuna went missing. Late last night around 11 o'clock, Riji Chieda, her father, contacted me. Iva and I started our search for Kizzy. After a while, I got a call on my phone. It was from her. She told me to meet her here at Iowan.
So, that makes us sisters?
We're not the same age, but we're like identical twins. We have almost the same genes.
That's crazy. I'm a copy of you.
Okay,
Don't say it like that.
But I'm your clone, right?
Technically, yes. But our DNA isn't exactly the same.
oh.
My genome was rearranged. Your DNA was modified on top of that, which is why you don't have the symptoms I have. Basically, you're an upgrade. The perfect version of me.
Don't say it like that.
I was raised at Iowan too.
Yeah, the same as me. When I was 6, you were born at Horadori Institute and sent here. I'm guessing they thought it was too difficult to raise you at the Institute. I remember the day you arrived like it was yesterday. You were still a baby. But the moment I saw you, I got this feeling. I started bawling my eyes out. The people at the facility didn't know we were related. Makes sense. They were told we were from 2 different places. But we're both named Mizuki, and we looked really similar. So to make it easier, everyone started calling me Big Sis. They called you Mizuki.
Oof. What happened after I arrived at Iowan?
They took me to Horadori Institute every so often for examinations. Well, I say examinations. I mean human experiments. I don't think you remember, but they did terrible things.
I think we were possibly the one who she saved, the one who was represented by the rabbit in the Somnium.
I remember getting shots with needles as big as boba straws. My time with Horadori Institute ended when I was 9 and you were 3. It shut down and we were finally free. That's about the time you were adopted by the Okiura family. But me? Well, I told you about me, right?
You were blind in one eye and had a heart condition.
Right. So it was hard to find a family who would take me. Ultimately, it was Mr. Chieda, the chairman.
So when you were 9, you were adopted by...
The Chiedas. I spent the next 6 years there. Up until I was 15, I lived under the same roof as Kizuna. I see. That's why she called me Big Sis.
What about after that?
You said something about an eccentric woman?
Boss?
Yeah, I was adopted by her.
It's boss.
Do you mean...
Shizue Kuranushi. Boss. Which is why my name is Mizuki Kuranushi now. You think that sounds kinda lame, huh?
I mean, we got Mizuki Kuranushi and Mizuki Date now, and I'm just loving this.
No, it's not that.
Why did boss adopt you?
You know how we're stronger than everybody else? Maybe she thought I'd come in handy.
So she wanted to make you work for her.
I don't know if that's the truth, but that's what she told me. Boss taught me how to fight. After she adopted me, she trained me hard every day. 6 years ago, when I was 18, I was hired as a top-secret member of Abyss. Boss wanted someone who she could rely on. Someone who would never betray her. She trusted me to handle the most sensitive situations. Basically, I'm like a ninja. Well, a kunoichi. Which is why my existence at Abyss had been hidden.
Are you one of the 6? Are you number 4 of the Sinkers?
The only people who know are Boss, Pewter, and Ryuki.
Ryuki? Why?
I wonder.
About February 6 years ago.
It's like I told you. I want to know who did this to me. I know that Chikara was the mastermind, but I want solid proof. That's why I was investigating him and his institute. But then, out of the blue, he gets killed. That's why I started following the HB case.
About February 6 years ago. I asked her about what happened back then. She told me the details of what happened on the 12th and the 14th. Which were which days? Sorry, I have to keep flipping to the flowchart. It's confusing. Okay, now we have everything. Okay. So I think this part doesn't line up with what's happening in these two. So these are still parallel times. Like, they're still not adding up. Although, it could be. I don't know. Anyways, they said the 12th and 14th. This is when Mizuki was in the past and synced with Gen 6 years ago, and then Terror 6 years ago. Okay. Twelfth. The 14th.
What you have seen and heard cannot be shared with anyone. If you do, I will kill her. I have an abundant amount of money. Even if I were to die, the assassins I've hired would still find her.
Oh, it was the other Mizuki we were playing as. There's 2 Mizukis.
I see. That's why you didn't talk about what happened 6 years ago.
But I think it's okay to start talking now.
Why?
I was able to freeze all of Terror's hidden accounts. We don't need to worry about any assassins anymore.
I bet you don't remember anything from February 6 years ago, do you?
I do not. My body was destroyed in the explosion at the cathedral. The Abyss communication network was also offline, so there was no backup taken.
Sorry, I'm gonna keep checking here because I keep thinking of thoughts. Did we ever run into a Mame on the... Did a Mame mate, or, sorry, did we ever run into Gen in the present? Yeah, we did. I think. Why were you hiding your identity?
If I revealed myself to you, you would want to know everything. And one way or another, you'd find out. You'd find out that your genes were spliced. That your real parents aren't Renju and Shoko. I didn't want you to end up like me. I wanted you to live a normal life. As normal as possible anyway. Get a normal job, a normal husband, get married, start a family, live happily ever after. A life like that. But if I showed up, I would ruin all that. That's what I thought, at least.
I see. But why didn't you tell me 7 years ago in November? I was already well on my way to an abnormal life at that point.
Maybe that's true.
By the way, I'm curious. Why were we given the same name?
I don't know. Maybe they didn't really care about the name.
What does Mizuki mean again?
But wouldn't that make it harder to tell us apart at the Institute?
I don't think they had any trouble.
They use numbers.
We had code names at Horadori Institute. I was Mouse, and you were Rabbit.
Okay, so that was who Rabbit was. Okay.
And you remember what they called us at Iowan, right?
You were Big Sis, and I was Mizuki.
Yeah.
Is that what I called you?
No. You were still little. You couldn't talk much. You just called me BB.
BB?
Yeah.
BB, huh?
Anyway, we've already spent enough time here. You shouldn't be wasting time like this.
Good point. There's still tons we don't know about the HB case.
Follow me. I want to show you something. Huh? What is it?
Oh, no. It's nothing. Let's go, BB.
Oh, we got all the person's files. Okay. Ramen World Cuisine, February 15th at 4:15 a.m. Oh, hey, Date. Hey, dead body.
Ah! What the fuck? This is information overload. My brains are gonna flow out of my ears.
So this is seemingly after the game?
Jeez. Just
No.
relax.
Oh, wait.
I can't just relax. What is this corpse doing here? And why are Kizzy and Leon here? Oh, and most importantly, who the hell is this?
What? Isn't it obvious?
Wait, you're that stupid porno mag collecting old man.
No.
Yes.
Why are you dressed like that? Where is Genny? What are you doing here? And one last thing. Where have you been the past 6 years? Why didn't you try to contact me?
I'm sorry, Mizuki.
I just had the thought that the Amame Geni route might have happened for Mizuki,
Okay. I think I kind of get it.
Kuranushi, and then yeah.
6 years ago, Date lost his memory when the ceiling collapsed on him. Then he got captured by terror, but managed to escape.
Yeah, because this feels like it's after both those timelines. So, okay,
And he's been wandering the Earth for the past 6 years.
I'm understanding the timeline.
5 days ago, on the 10th, he heard the news about Jin's body being found.
And finally got his memory back.
That's right.
Okay. Okay, lots of things happening. My voice reaches Date's brain right now. That's because he is a reception device. That's because there is a reception device in his left eye socket. You can mute me by turning it off, but that's a real hassle, so it's still on. This is the same for Mizuki Kuranushi. She hears my voice too. Mizuki Kuranushi is kind of long. I'll just call her BB. Oh, right, I was gonna look at the timeline, because I just... Okay. In the future, like, this part happens in the future, and I'm wondering if... Hell no, because it had to have been the same Mizuki who did this both times. But it does feel like we're at the end of both these together. So I wonder if... I don't know, there's something about the... They had to have both We're in this timeline though, okay. Because yeah, the one thing I'm noticing is that like this timeline corresponds to when we were in future Ryuki. And this part corresponds to past Mizuki. But there's two of these, which is why I was confused. But one of this could be Mizuki Date, and the other is Mizuki Kuranushi. That's my theory for how the timeline's all playing out. But I'm not fully sure yet. We'll find out. Left to right. Why are you here?
There's a reason I'm here with Kizzy. I got a call from my old pal Date.
I asked him to unlock something for me.
Are you talking about the freezer?
No, I got that open on the 13th.
It was a different lock this time.
Anyway, that is when we met with Date and the woman he was with.
The woman? I was there too.
Okay. About BB.
I've known her for a long time. She's a former coworker from back when I was doing bad stuff. Back then, I used to call her Quartz.
Hey, don't just blurt that out.
Mizuki's name comes from crystal. The kanji for crystal can be read as Mizuki.
Crystals are the solid form of silicon dioxide, a mineral. Most often recognized as quartz.
Wait, so you were in a Thieves Guild, BB?
The snow isn't letting up.
Don't change the subject.
What time is it?
Why do you ask?
No reason.
It is currently 4:25 a.m. Daybreak is close.
Okay. I heard you went missing.
I am a little embarrassed to admit this, but Leon and I plan to elope.
What?
May I ask why?
Kizzy's father won't accept me.
He threatened to send Leon to prison if he continued to see me.
Wait, were both those actually Mizuki Kuranushi?
And that's when I suggested that we run off together.
And I agreed.
So you two...
Yeah. They're both on the run for love.
But we don't know exactly where we want to go yet.
Right. We need some more time to think about it.
Did you tell Richie?
I have told him that I am safe and sound.
Okay. Well, I'm glad you weren't kidnapped.
I am so sorry that I worried you.
Yeah, I'm sorry about all this, you guys.
Are you okay? Are you cold?
It is snowing outside, but do not worry about us. My heart is burning strong.
About BB.
I suppose Big Sis has already told you everything. Big Sis and I lived in the same home for 6 years. But I never thought my Big Sis was my Big Sis's Big Sis.
So confusing.
Anyway, Mizuki Date, I will call you Little Big Sis from now on. And you, Mizuki Kuranushi, I will call you Big Sis.
Still, just as confusing.
Makes perfect sense. Mizuki is BB's clone. Date already knows this. BB told him. But Kizuna and Lien don't know this yet. They think they are just sisters. Okay. Let me just say one thing.
What? Do you have more insults to hurl at me for missing 6 years of your life?
No, it's not that. Maybe she just wanted to hear you say, Mizuki, you've grown so much, or something emotional like that. No, not that either.
Ah, right. For you, it's been 6 years. For me, it's different. I've been back for 4 days dressed like this. I've been watching you guys the whole time, so I don't really have anything sappy to say.
I told you it's not that!
I'm home. Welcome back.
That's, I think, a reference to the full version of Infinite Rainbow Arrow.
Is that what you wanted to hear?
All right, okay. Let me try this again. Mizuki, I'm home.
Welcome back, Date. But that's not what I wanted to say. I threw away all your porno mags.
Good girl. So who is the corpse in the freezer?
Let's talk about it later. Trust me, if I explain it now, it'll only confuse you.
Okay, why were you pretending to be Genny?
I know that Horadori Institute and Nyes are both caught up in the HB case. Gen was created at the Institute. and he was acquaintances with Tokiko. So, by borrowing his mask, I could snoop on Tokiko and other members of Horadori Institute.
But why do you still look like that here?
Horadori Institute and Nai's people come here all the time. Imitating Gen makes it easier to eavesdrop on them.
Why did you reveal your identity now?
Gonna be honest, this has gotten way out of hand. I can't do this on my own. We need to work together to stop their plan.
Their plan?
Yeah, their Nirvana initiative. So first, I contacted Mizuki Kuronushi.
Date and I met 6 years ago. He knew how to get a hold of me.
I shared everything I had, then told her to find you, Mizuki.
To help stop them?
Basically.
Okay. When did you find out about the corpse in the freezer?
Last night. Date called me out of the blue. He told me about the corpse. And how he was pretending to be Genny. And everything else he knew.
Okay, so this is not the same as those other two timelines. Where's the real Genny?
I don't know. Not here.
It's fine, I know where he is. Don't you have an idea too?
Not really.
Okay, I'll ask again. What's the deal with the corpse? Why is it in the freezer?
It's better that you see for yourself.
Let me just show you.
Another corpse?
No, not one more.
Not one at all.
Half
It's half.
in the cathedral. Night Japan branch, February 15th at 5:55 a.m. Is it destroyed? Yep. And there's the file. Okay, so that is the timeline that happened. I think.
So, you finished reading the file.
Yeah.
Now do you understand? Now you know whose left half is in the freezer. Jin. Jin Furue. That's what he really looks like.
And this body?
Uru Somizuki. Terror. He murdered 3 people 6 years ago. Jin, Chikara, and Andy's Komeiji.
God, there's so many things. Box. X-ray.
What's this? There's some kind of device in there.
We've seen this before.
It appears to be a jet-like nozzle device.
We saw this as Ryuki. Okay, so just talk to people. You've changed.
That outfit was so hard to move in.
Oh, like that.
With the wireframe and all the stuffing.
Are Leanne and Kizuna okay? Leanne and Kizuna aren't here right now. We split at Brahmin.
They're not going far away, are they?
They should be fine. They said they were going to think hard about where to go.
About Jin Furue.
I don't need to explain it. You should already know.
Jin Furue, the child of Tokiko and Chikara.
He was born with a rare and complicated disease. It caused inoperable tumors to grow in the right half of his body.
Jin might have had it worst of all.
He got his first transplant when he was really young. I don't think he wanted to take organs from Uru. Remember what it said in Uru's diary? He said he wanted to apologize. I think he is referring to Jin.
So you think the transplant was done against Jin's will?
I'm not positive, but that's just the feeling I get.
Okay. When did you get here?
Only a few hours ago, around 1 a.m.
I asked Leon to open the door to the staircase.
So the lock you mentioned earlier.
Okay, so it's very similar.
That's right. The lock to the staircase door.
That's when I asked them about their plans to run away together.
Then the 4 of us headed down the stairs. Leon carried Kizuna down.
And that's when we found the corpse on the ritual platform.
Okay. How did you find out?
I used Marco's X-ray function.
Oh, is that your AI?
Marco? The name of my AI ball in my left eye. He's pretty shy. He doesn't talk much. Unlike someone else I know.
Excuse me, Are you talking about me?
I know Iba really well. We were partners 6 years ago. When I was hired at Abyss, I was supposed to get Marco transplanted into my left eye. But he wasn't finished yet. So instead, I got Iba.
But Iba and Date.
Yeah, Iba and Date were kind of fighting at the time. And I needed to see if I was compatible with an AI ball at all, so...
I see. I apologize. I do not remember anything from back then.
Because of the explosion, right?
Yes.
It's kinda sad. I made so many memories with you, Iba.
Why were Iba and Date fighting?
Well, you see, I was so preoccupied with my work.
No. It was because you tried watching VR porn while Iba was still in your left eye.
That's right.
That does sound like something that would make me very angry.
I told you a million times, it was just a watermelon splitting video.
About Uru Somazuki.
I can't really say anything more than what's in the file. Uru Somazuki. He's the child that was kidnapped from Iowan when he was 6.
It was Chikara and Tokiko who took him. They wanted to make him Jin Furue's donor.
So for over a decade, they did surgery after surgery, giving more and more of Uru to Jin.
Half of his face, too.
The skin he lost was replaced by an artificial skin made of carbon chitin. Half his face was transplanted onto Jin's as well.
Right. And it was only half because Jin had a percent-shaped birthmark on the left side of his face.
A holy symbol for the Order of Percent. It was considered sacred.
And Chikara, being a devoted follower, couldn't get himself to rip that skin off.
Which is why the left half of Jin's face was left untouched.
And after all those transplants, Jin's body ended up being cut in half.
6 years later, February of this year, Uru's body was cut in half.
So what was discovered was Jin's right half and Uru's left half.
Yes.
Jin and Uru are essentially mirror images of one another.
So when the police were identifying Uru's body, they got their DNA sample to compare against from Jin's organs.
And because those were originally taken from Uru, it naturally follows that they match.
So that's why...
That is the mistake that caused investigators to believe that they were the same person.
What happened up till now?
I wanted to ask Shoma about the genetic experiments, so I visited him.
And I looked like Gen, so it didn't raise any concerns.
He told me a lot.
About his body and his older sister. And about the hidden safe.
That's what we came here for. Wait,
Shoma has an older sister?
Yeah.
you know her well.
Kizuna and Iris's friend.
A mermaid at Sunfish Pocket.
A mame doi.
Really? I've been wondering,
This really summing up all the big reveals at once.
6 years ago, why did Uru cut the bodies in half?
That was for the Nirvana initiative, right?
Yeah, but what does that have to do with the plan? And speaking of, is the Nirvana initiative still happening? I mean, after all, Terror's dead.
Right. The mastermind is dead.
But you saw it. On the night of the 13th, on the rooftop of Misatan.
Yes.
That was Terror. It was definitely Uru's voice. But Uru should have been dead.
Perhaps his voice was recorded.
Either way, the rehearsal happened even after Terror died.
Which means...
The main event will likely still happen as well.
Yeah, it's safe to assume it will proceed as planned.
But I still don't understand the full scope of the Nirvana initiative.
When? Where? How? We are completely in the dark.
Why don't you ask the culprit?
Yeah, good idea. Hey, Uru. What's up with your plan, you asshole?
No, that's not what I meant. There are other culprits.
Ryuki.
Whoever killed Uru and Tokiko.
You believe they might know something about the Nirvana initiative?
I think it was Ryuki. Ryuki blacked out on the day that Tokiko disappeared, as well as on the day that Uru would have been killed.
I don't know for sure, but they at least might have some clues.
We don't have enough information yet. Looks like we're gonna need some extra help.
I think Ryuki did these two recent
Help?
murders.
Over here. Come with me.
There's nothing over here.
It looks like there is.
You would think that, right? But check this out.
Open sesame!
Marco, please. What is this?
Do you like it? Erotic, isn't it?
Shut
How
up.
is this in any way erotic?
Much more erotic than watermelon splitting.
Let's get going.
Yeah. What? What does this mean?
It means exactly what you see.
There are two cathedrals?
Oh.
That's right.
Mizuki, look.
Hi, Ryuki.
Ryuki.
I'm here too.
Hi, Tama.
Tama.
How is Ryuki doing?
Terrible. It was a bad idea to show him this place. He's been like this for hours.
About Ryuki.
Do you hate Ryuki?
Of course I do. I want to shove a pipe in his mouth and stir up his organs. 6 years ago, he... It made my heart condition worse. It affected my work. I can't investigate properly if I have to go to the hospital all the time. But when I heard you recently joined Abyss, I shadowed you. And February 10th, when you went to the stadium, I got there before you and found the corpse. At the time, I had no clue it was Uru's left half, but I knew it had to do with the HB case from 6 years ago. I told you before that the one thing I wanted was for you to live a normal life. I couldn't let you get caught up in this case. I had to stop you. That's why...
You shot at us.
I see. You shot at Mizuki to dissuade her from finding the corpse.
Okay. Is there anything else you want to say? No. Okay. Two cathedrals?
Marco, can you send Iba the data?
Got it. Opening it. It is a cross-section of the two cathedrals.
Okay.
You get it now?
Yeah.
There's one on the east and one on the west.
Terror blew up the west one. This one, right here.
Which happens to be the same side Ryuki met Terror. What he called his execution chamber.
On the east side was Uru's corpse and Tokiko's file.
And that mysterious box.
Which we never figured out.
The
what
one
it was.
connected to the Nyes building is the east one. You can take the elevator up to the president's office.
Why two cathedrals?
Huh. Beats me.
Maybe it has something to do with what Nyes believes. 2 in 1. I think they were obsessed with that.
I think so. Okay. I think all that's left now is to talk to Ryuki. Why are you here?
Date called me.
Yeah. I told him to head over to the other cathedral.
Does that mean he saw Uru's corpse and Tokiko's file?
He did. Yep. And then he came here through the hidden passage.
Are you okay?
He appears to at least be breathing.
Might not be if there was rope and a branch in here. This has been eating at Ryuki for the past 6 years. He regretted what he did and blamed himself. He betrayed Date and shot Mizuki Kuranushi with stun bullets. And what happened to Mizuki, Date, and Kizuna on top of that? Yeah, Terror detonated the bomb, but it was Ryuki who told Date about this place. If he never did, Kizuna and Mizuki wouldn't have been hurt. That's what's been plaguing him. He started drinking, which made the whole thing worse.
I don't care if he feels bad about it. I still don't forgive him.
Easy. He had his reasons.
I also implemented a self-destruct program. If I activate it, she'll be lost forever.
What about the self-destruct program in Tama?
I was overhauled completely during maintenance a few years back, and that function was deleted. That's when Ryuki opened up about what happened.
Why didn't you share this earlier?
I couldn't. Ryuki betrayed Abyss. He did something you can't come back from. I couldn't let anyone find out.
So you protected him.
It's the same reason I didn't upload the investigation data from 6 years ago. I made an oath. No matter what, I will protect Ryuki.
But Ryuki himself could have informed us sooner.
You should know why he didn't do that. Why he gave in to Terror's demands.
He wanted to protect his loved ones.
Wouldn't you do the same? Ryuki, you made a mistake. But lying around here in all your misery isn't gonna fix anything. If you really regret what you did, solve this case. That's the only way to atone. Ryuki, I remember one night we went out drinking. You told me about your little brother. You always talk about him when you drink. You made him a promise, right? You said, I'll become a hero of justice. If I've fallen, I just need to get back up again. You used to say it all the time. It doesn't matter how many times you fall. As long as you have a body to do it, you climb back up again. Come on, Ryuki. Climb above the debris. It doesn't matter if you're pitiful. It doesn't matter if you show vulnerability. You struggle, you crawl, and you make it back to the top. That's what we do. That's what makes us human.
Mr. Date. Everyone.
Ryuki, now's not the time to cry. Come climb up here.
You mean...
Don't get me wrong. I'll only forgive you after we solve this case. So...
Okay.
After that, we all shared information. Aiba, Tama, and Marco shared everything on the local network. Date received everything as well via the device implanted in his eye socket. Anything that wasn't recorded electronically, we shared verbally. Everything from 6 years ago, everything from this year. All the information, including Somnia, from top to bottom.
So, the first thing on the agenda is stopping the Nirvana initiative.
When? Where? How? We don't know anything about it.
We should know everything except where. Tama shared all her data, right?
I did receive the information.
I didn't give it a close look. Ryuki, can you tell us more about the Nirvana initiative?
Yeah, I'll explain everything in order. First, Terror, Uru, created a video.
Okay, so I think they're going to go into a long recap of everything. I think we're getting close to the end. But I also think this is a good place to call it. The episode's already starting to get a bit long. I hope you're all enjoying this. I hope you're all excited to get to figure out everything that's happening. I'm needing to try to untangle some of this stuff with the multiple timelines, because I do really think that all of the things that are happening in the multiple timelines are happening. It's just, you know, we're playing different people at different times and stuff. So I think there's a way it all works out. I just need to think about it more. So thank you everybody for watching. If you liked this episode, please give it a like, comment, or subscribe. And I will see everybody next time. Bye! How can I have Dancy? Oh, so it's still Aiba. Or not still Aiba, still Iris. What kind of dance do you like? I don't know what any of these are. Let's go with Manipuri. This is crazy. Oh, look at... Okay. This is crazy. Manila Princey? Okay, got the boss. Hi, boss. I became an adultie. Thanks for talking so much to me. Boss's voice is... I don't know. I don't have a good boss voice. That's okay, though. Alright. So, that means that all we have left are... We need to do Impish and Crazy. For the first part. But not too much. Do we have super... what do you want? What do you want? Do we have that one? No. We are not getting the same things at all anymore. Let's say... Impish. Let's go with... Superpower. That's probably great. Brave, yeah. Okay. Okay. What did you like? Do I have that? Yes. Spicy was crazy. So let's go with... We do need crazy again, but I kind of want to gain a little bit more information. Bitter might be impish, or is this... Let's go bitter. Bitter is impish, okay. Which is another one I needed, so that's good.